There are times when I feel so depressed and uninspired and unwilling to go to work and see people and do my best. And usually I would associate that with creative burnout. In this video, I'm going to talk about why I think that happens, what I usually do with that, and how to balance work and life and doing different things in life. For me personally, if I work more than 4 or 5 days a week and I do that for weeks and weeks in a row, I get completely burned out. I mean, that depends on the clients as well, because some clients are very easy to work with and I don't get any stress, and some clients are being a little bit more difficult. So when the times are good, I can usually work like that months and months in a row. But when I have some particularly difficult clients, the burnout happens way quicker. What I notice is our job is not just physically challenging, but also emotionally not easy. Because we have to deal with people, we have to deal with their requests, ideas. Sometimes our clients don't like our ideas, and we put so much energy and so much time and effort into our ideas. So being rejected by people might be hard to handle. Also, there's a physical part to it, because tattooing is physically difficult. We have to sit in an uncomfortable position for hours in a row, and our eyes get tired, our hands, our backs, our necks feel tired, and all that stuff accumulates over the days and weeks and months. And more tired we feel, less desire we might have to keep doing that and keep working. So I feel like that's a big part of creative burnout as well. The most common advice from people, especially non-creative people, would be to take some time off, take a vacation, go somewhere, have fun, meet your friends. Just take a break from work, and then when you get back to it, you're gonna feel fresh and energized and stuff like this. I tried that many times and it doesn't really work for me so well, because I noticed that if I don't work and if I don't do anything productive, I just get bored, and it doesn't feel like rest to me anymore. It doesn't feel like a vacation to me. I just feel bored. And I found that I feel the most depressed when I spend too much time not doing anything cool, not doing anything interesting. And the word interesting and cool means different things for different people. But for me, it's creating something, or it's getting some cool experiences or emotions, and just sitting on the couch and watching movies all day or playing video games doesn't really seem like a good use of my time. I tried to spend the day on the beach and all those good things that usually help other people, and it just didn't do anything for me. I felt like I just wasted a whole day, and it didn't really bring me too much of pleasure or too much of a rest. So what I found instead is I just need to switch from one type of activity to another type. So I found that if I worked for a few months, 4 or 5 days a week, and I feel really burnt out, I then try to take a few days off or even a whole week off and just switch to doing something else. Like these days for tattoo artists, it's really helpful to spend some time on creating content and thinking of new ways to present your work and new ways to attract your potential customers. So sometimes if I have like 2-3 days off, I just sit down and write some ideas on the content I want to create, on some videos I want to make, like this one. Then I create this stuff, then I edit that, and I'm still being busy. My brain works on creating things, but I don't get physically tired the same way as I would get from tattooing. And when you are working on some stuff like creating videos or even just drawing, working on some art, yes, you get tired a little bit too, but you are a little bit more free in terms of taking breaks whenever you want, doing some stretching, doing some exercises, going for a walk, which really helps to not feel so physically and emotionally tired compared to just sitting all day and tattooing. Because when I tattoo, I want to be as productive as possible. I want to finish as much work as I can in one session. So sometimes I skip the breaks. Sometimes I work for 2-3 hours in a row without taking any time off. And at that time, it feels fine. But like I said, that feeling of being tired accumulates and it becomes more and more difficult to keep working in that mode. So just switching activities from tattooing to working on content to working on some piece of art, working on a canvas or a drawing really helps me to keep my mind occupied and allows me to be creative, but in different ways. And I noticed that it really helps me to be more excited about getting back to work and tattooing clients again and even seeing other people again when I just do these different types of activities. As for the work-life balance, I like visiting new places. I would love to visit all national parks in the US, for example, and just visit at least a few new places every year. So we try to plan ahead and plan a few trips during the year to some new national parks we haven't been to some new states that we haven't seen before. And those are usually just 4 or 5 days trips. So I don't get bored and it's enough for me to completely forget about all my stress from work. It's enough to get some rest for my body and it keeps me entertained. I have a chance to take pictures of new exciting landscapes or cities and I have a chance to take a lot of photos, which I really love. And when you are in the same location, it sometimes gets boring to even take photos. But when I go to new places, new states, new parks, I always bring back hundreds of new photographs and I love looking at them and remembering those experiences and emotions that I had. So the work-life balance means exactly this to me. Being able to spend, let's say, a few days in a month on having fun and not doing anything in terms of work, but being able to go get new experiences and visit new places and spend the rest of the month on my work and not just tattooing and not just working with people, but working on a bunch of different projects. And I noticed that if I don't feel as exhausted and as burnt out, I always have way more different ideas on things to create. For example, if I spend a couple of days at home working on content or working on a book or a drawing, then during those couple of days, I might get 10 more ideas on what kind of things I want to make or create or record or write or even draw, compared to when I spend 4 or 5 days in a row just tattooing. I feel so exhausted. I come back home, all I want to do is just shower and go to sleep, because I'm completely drained of any energy that I could use to be more creative. So in 2025, I decided for myself that I'm gonna be tattooing the minimum amount to pay my bills and use the rest of my time to work on projects that could be more exciting to me. I started doing more videos, I started writing a book, I started a couple of drawings, I have a few collaborations with other brands, I'm working on my tattoo machine with Bishop Rotary, I'm working on my needles, I'm working on my red inks with Eternal, and doing all those different things just really helps me to not get so emotionally and physically tired from my main job, which is tattooing. And who knows what's going to be in the future. Maybe my book will be very successful and I'll make more money on that and I won't have to tattoo as much. Or maybe my YouTube channel will be a little bit more popular in the future and again, I won't have to tattoo as much. I love my job, I love tattooing. It's just like I said, very exhausting physically and mentally when you try to balance between your ideas and being creative and the things that our clients might want. So I try to do different things these days and see how it feels, see what brings me more joy, what brings me more positive emotions, and at the end, what brings me more money as well. So in the future, I can change my priorities. I guess the time will tell. I hope this video was helpful and maybe gave you some food for thoughts. And if you enjoyed it, make sure to watch this video because you might like it too. Have a great day and I will see you next time.